and welcome to this week's Fresh Life. I'm 13 on your side health reporter Val Lego, bringing you a fresh take on healthy living. Coming up, find out why the best way to improve your concentration might be right in your favorite video game. And grab your best wooden spoon if you want to keep your pasta from boiling over. I'll tell you why this kitchen hack really works. But first, it's a treatment that dates back to 500 BC, yet ear seeds are becoming trendy again. They're small seeds used to stimulate pressure points in your ear. They're said to be able to help with everything from depression and anxiety and weight loss, even smoking cessation. And you can try them out at the Mercy Health Wege Institute right here in Grand Rapids.
All of the points in the whole body are represented in the ear. A lot of times people will look at the ear as almost an upside down fetus. If you look at an ear, it kind of looks like the head is down here and then the body wraps around. That's basically where the points correlate.
Okay.
So it's kind of easy to see, well, here's where the head would be. I'll be darned, that is something for a headache. And here's where the spine might be. Yes, that's where it is.
And so some people have a lot of success with these. Others will be concerned about, like, oh, is it, acupuncture? Are you putting needles? Like, how are they applied?
If someone comes to see me, I have a choice between, I might needle the ear, I might use small little magnets, which is actually what I prefer to use, is tiny little magnets. Each ear has got over 320 points on it.
Wow.
So there's really about 10 that an individual layperson can get to know and use effectively at home. This is called Shen Men. It means literally spirit gate. It is a point that is done on almost anybody for relaxation.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
So anxiety, relaxation, again, it's probably one of the most common points that's done. Super simple.
And is this
this is a magnet.
Okay.
So what happens is there's two things going on: the pressure and an actual magnet. So there's a small amount of magnetic energy that's going directly into the point.
So you have to do both sides?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so how long should I leave them on?
Well, if they bother you, you can take them off, but usually somewhere between 2 and 3 days. Squeeze them from time to time. If someone is trying to, let's say, quit smoking or something, and they get that urge, I tell them to just squeeze the point.
And if you're looking for a way to up your concentration game, then look no further than your favorite video game. According to The Guardian, the best music for getting your work done is video game soundtracks, because they are actually designed to help you stay focused, because the brain likes the syncopated beat in the soundtracks. And it makes sense, because when you consider the purpose of video game music, it is to help create an immersive environment to perform a task that requires constant focus. And just because I love fun hacks, here's one for you if you are constantly chasing a boiling pot of pasta, just like me. Try balancing a wooden spoon over the pot. When the bubbles touch the colder and drier wood, they burst, which releases the steam from inside the bubble. The cycle then just keeps repeating itself until you turn off the heat. I want to thank Learn with Dr. Scott for this science lesson and this helpful hack. Hi, and welcome to this week's Fresh Life. I'm 13 on your side health reporter Val Lego, bringing you a fresh take on healthy living. So here's a question for you. What's the germiest place in your bathroom? It is not the toilet. Surprise, it's your towel rack. Researchers in the UK found it's because towel racks are rarely cleaned and because damp towels are breeding grounds for bacteria. Researchers suggest you clean your towel racks 3 times a month to keep those germs away. Well, the pandemic has us all looking for a little bit of zen, so what better way to do that than with Zentangle? It's an art form anyone can learn, including me, and all you need is some paper and a number 2 pencil.
So if you just want to draw a square that's about 3 or 4 inches, and I love that you're doing this with materials you have at home. Inside that square, we're going to draw 4 dots, 1 in each corner.
Okay.
And we're going to make lines very lightly, connecting all of them, which just makes a frame for your artwork. It also creates a small space to do your tangles in. It's not as overwhelming as a large piece of paper.
Okay.
I'm going to start on the left-hand side, and I'm going to go up to the top. And I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to go back up to the side.
Okay. I think
So
mine
now
looks like yours.
Yes, yay. So there's unlimited ways to break up your space, but this is kind of a nice, easy way. It gives us 4 areas to work in. So if you're looking for classes or looking for an individual one-on-one, you can go to Zentangle.com. And if you're doing it slowly and intentionally, you can really get into a zone of just making these shapes over and over again.
I loved this. It was so anxiety-free. If you'd like to check out Zentangle, check out Kelly's Facebook page. Let's Tangle. We all love our pets, so if your dog is down in the dumps, put some music on. Researchers out of Scotland found that music really does cheer up your pooch, but they are particular about the kind of music. Reggae and soft rock top the charts for the canines. Those types of music cause pups to be calmer and happier. Hi, and welcome to this week's Fresh Life. I'm 13 on your side health reporter Val Lego, bringing you a fresh take on healthy living. You know, many of us need it before leaving the house, but we probably won't come home with it. I am talking about lipstick. That's because the average woman eats about 4 pounds of it in a lifetime. That's through licking your lips and actually eating it during meals. And that is according to FutureDerm.com, who did all of the calculations for us. Of course, it does depend on how often you wear lipstick, so it could be more or less than that. The FDA does say there's no health risk if you accidentally ingest small amounts of lipstick, but keep in mind, beauty products are not strictly regulated, and they often contain toxins and chemicals. It is fall. Everybody's going crazy for pumpkin spice, but we're getting nutty with acorns. So I called in the expert, my good friend Lisa Rose, an herbalist and forager and author of 3 great books. Great to see you, my friend, as always. Enjoying the wonderful fall. Okay.
Beautiful fall, and acorns are falling left and right from the tree right now.
We talk about foraging them, but not too much to do when it comes to foraging acorns.
We've not yet been together on the foraging adventure for acorns, but right now you might notice a surplus of acorns in your gardens, driveways, and sidewalks.
Yes, we've been hearing people talk about how they think there's even more this year than last year, but why are they so good for us?
Well, acorns have been used as a food for thousands of years, and in North America specifically, our indigenous peoples have counted on them as a carbohydrate for the winter season and into the spring before the gathering and the prince.
Yeah, they're good for your belly, they're good for gut health, they've got a lot of protein in them, and you know, you've got a great acorn bread recipe for us.
I really do. I've putzed around with the acorns quite a bit over the years, and the acorn as a nut can be used in many different ways. As a flour, first you need to leach the nut in water, cold water to leach the tannins from it. It's a bitter nut. So once the nut is bleached, dried in a dehydrator, and then ground up as flour, it can be used to make bread. It can be used to brew coffee, similar to chicory coffee. And then also very delicious in other recipes that require pastas, flours for pastas, and cakes, and delicious cookies.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of patience to get through it, but you know, so do all good things. I do love the fact that you touched on the coffee, because I hear that's a really big trend now. Is that acorn coffee?
Acorn coffee, it's a very astringent, and it can be on the bitter side, like a coffee can be. So you can use it as a blend. The flour can be roasted with chicory and also coffee to give that little extra flavor to it. But you do want to soak the nuts, and you want to gel them and dry them. Soaking them again brings out the tannins, and don't eat them straight out of the shell raw. They're not almonds. So it would be a surprise if you didn't go through the entire laborious process. But honestly, supply chain shortages don't have anything on me or the squirrels. We'll be set this winter.
Oh my gosh, you always make foraging fun, Lisa. It's great to see you again. And if you would like to learn more about Lisa, hey, she's got 3 great books out that you can learn more about foraging and eating from your own backyard. You can get them on Amazon. It is a debate that's gone back and forth for decades. Which is safer, plastic or wood, when it comes to cutting boards? Well, the verdict is in. According to Consumer Reports, it is both. Just make sure to sanitize each one after use with diluted bleach. That's the most important part. And as always, use separate boards for meat and poultry and fruits and veggies. So grab your favorite board and chop till your heart's content.